Hello there. I'm waiting for a knock at my front door. So while I'm waiting, I'll introduce myself. My name is Millicent Tucker. But I don't think anyone has ever called me Millicent, apart from my mother when she was proper angry with me. Everyone calls me Millie. So I don't really know why I said my name was Millicent. Anyway, it don't matter. Like I was saying afore I interrupted myself, my name is Millie. Millie Tucker. And I live in a right pretty little village, I do, right down here in the west tip of Cornwall, England, the UK. Or is it Great Britain? Do you know, I've lived in my country all my born days I have, and I've never not once known the difference between the United Kingdom or Great Britain. I haven't, you know, and I have to admit, I don't care, to be quite honest with you. Anyway, I'm waffling on, I am. I do waffle, you know. My Frank always said that. He said, Millie, you don't half waffle. Anyway, enough of me waffling on about me waffling. What I want to know, have any of you lot heard about something called social services? I ain't. Not a bloody clue what that means. Only see, I got a letter in post on Wednesday morning, 2 days ago it was. It said, social services will be paying me a visit on Friday. That's today, that is. I thought, oh, will you indeed? I had to go check with my neighbours. What's this so-called social services? I mean, social to me sounds like a party. So does that mean there is a service out there that's going to bring a party to my house? I don't want no bloody party. Thank ye, I do not. Not with my Frank in his condition. Here, hang on. I'm sitting here in silence, I is. I don't like silence. I'm going to put my gramophone on, I am. I do likes my music. I did want one of them television things, but my Frank, he says he ain't paying for no TV licence, and who do those BBC people think they is? He says that he ain't gonna have a television in his house. So, I just got my gramophone. I likes my music, I do. Hang on a minute, I'll just go and play something. Now then, where was I? Oh yes, I was talking about them social services, wasn't I? No idea what that was. So's, I took my letter round the neighbours. Right stuck up pair they are. Truth be told, I don't like 'em. I thinks that they think that they're a bit special, just 'cause they got a pony in back field and one of them fancy cars. There is no need for a car round these parts. My Frank didn't have one. Get the bus! That's what he'd say, and that's exactly what I did. I'd get on that bus every day, like clockwork, at 7 minutes past 8 o'clock AM every day. Apart from Saturdays when it came on the half hour, and Sundays when it just didn't come at all. Anyways, I'd take that bus every day into the bigger village, see, 'cause that's where I worked, in a pub, cleaning. At least I did until last week. I tell you what happened. I goes into my cleaning cupboard, and Jeff, that's the landlord, he comes up to me and he says, now then, what did he say? Oh yeah, something like this. He says, Millie, your services are no longer required. So I says to him, I says, nonsense. I said, this pub's right filthy. But he wouldn't have it. He gave me my wages in a brown envelope and said, there's a little extra in there for you. And then he gave me a bunch of flowers. Well, I didn't say anything to him 'cause I'm not rude like, but I'll tell thee, I bloody hate cut flowers. Why they can't just let flowers stay in the soil where they belong, I'll never know. So here I am with these poor murdered flowers and nowhere to put 'em. So with that little extra he give me, I had to go and buy a blinking vase, I did. I was none too happy, and neither was my Frank. Hang on a minute, hang on. I'm getting quite thirsty here talking. Do you mind if I just go get myself a nice drink? I won't be too long. Oh, that's better there. I get a bit of a thirst on, I do. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, I remember now. I was telling you about my posh neighbours and their stuck-up ways. So off I pop round to their house, and they takes a look at my letter for me, and they tells me that social services is like a kind of caring group of people who want to check up on my house, my Frank, and our welfare. I looked up at my neighbours, because they're both quite tall, you see, and they were standing on their doorstep. And do you know, they never invited me in. Not that I wanted to go in, you understand, because I wanted to get back to my Frank. But they could have offered, I'd have thought. So's I takes myself back home, because I need to talk about this to my Frank. Not that he'll care. He never cared, did Frank. He always says to me, "Stop fretting, woman." But I can't help it, you see. We are who we are. We make a good pair, we do. There is my Frank, who worries about nothing, and then there is me, who worries about everything. I sometimes think when we married, I took his worry right off his shoulders, I did. Mind you, he was none too happy last week when I lost my cleaning job. Oh, he worried then, all right. He worried, because he used my cleaning money to go down to local hostelry and buy himself a few beers. He said it was good for him to get out the house and have a break. Of course, with me losing my job, we had no money for him to go off drinking. So since then, he's just been slumped in this easy chair, doing nothing. Here I'm back. I just thought I heard a knock at the door. I went to have a look. No one there. They'll be here any minute, though. Anyway, you know what I did yesterday? Because yesterday was Thursday and today's Friday. Did I tell you that? Well, I spent my Thursday doing a bit of tidying up for our visitors today, on the Friday. Not that I got much tidying to do, of course, because I keep my house proper neat and tidy. I stack everything in order, I do. I got all my newspapers stacked high, lovely they are. I got a great strap by my front door, I have. They're stacked right up to the height of the hallway window, perfect for me to put my bits and bobs on. Oh, I tell you though, I did see a lovely hallway cabinet for sale. Oh, it were right lovely. It would have fit perfectly and sat right nice in my hallway. But when I told Frank the price, he went mad, he did. He says to me, he says, "Are you mad, woman? I ain't spending 275 quid for a shelf for you to put your keys on." So that's when I decided to make my own, and so I did. I stacked my newspaper real orderly and put a pretty tablecloth over top. Looks lovely it do. So I did same in bedroom, piled them newspapers up, pretty like, either side of bed with a napkin on each one, and set the night lights atop. It looks splendid it do. And then I realised I could make a little table for each of us in our sitting room, each one placed at the side of our easy chairs. I saved a fortune, I did. Mind you, I've always had to be thrifty, what with Frank never being able to find a job. I had to watch them pennies. Not that it did me any harm, and I'm not complaining. And if my house ain't posh enough for these social services people, well, I don't care. I mean, it's not like I invited them, is it? Damn cheek if you ask me. Fancy that, they want to come barging into my house with no invite. You know, I did think to phone the police, but I can't, because I ain't got no phone. But least said about that the better. It was my Frank, see? He said, "No need, Millie. Who the hell you gonna phone? You ain't got no friends." I says to him, I says, "Frank, I do's have friends. I sees them in post office, village stores, and bus stop, and we have a right natter on that bus we do when we get going. We have right lovely chats, we do." So my Frank says back to me, "Well, if you be talking to your friends at post office, village stores, bus stop, and on that bus, then you don't need no phone, do's you?" And that's how come we never got no phone in house. But oh, I tell you what I see that I'd love. I see these modern people walking around with a movable phone. Here, have you ever heard the likes of it? Oh yeah, I tell you about them, you see. There's these phones, and they looks like a very thin black brick. No wires attached, nor nothing. And if you're walking down road, you can make a phone call. Just like that it is. And you don't have to put any money in. Oh, it just works without no wires, no money, completely movable. I quite likes that idea. But I doubt I'll ever get one, not now. I expect you have to pay for 'em. I ain't sure on that. What I don't understand is how they can send you a bill. I mean, if you're moving around from pillar to post, they don't know whose house to send that bill to, do they? Anyway, enough of me waffling on about them movable phones. It's just I do like to keep up to pace with this modern technology, what is very popular these days. So, here I am on Friday, clock watching, waiting for them social services people. I spent the morning clearing up Frank's dinner plate from last night. It's a funny thing, you know, but every night Frank comes and he sits on my bed and he talks to me. So tender he does talk. I love my nighttime chats with my Frank. I don't want them social services people here. I know why they're coming. I'm not stupid. I might bury my head in the sand, but I'm not daft. Not like they make it out. You see, my Frank, he died last week. He's all I had left. We lost the cat last year. I've lost my job. And if they take his body, I don't think he'll come and sit on the end of my bed at night for our nighttime chats ever again. I don't want them to take him. I don't. So I've made a decision, I have. And what I've decided is we'll both be leaving this house together. This is our home, and we'll both go together. So you know them paper units I made, the wall cabinet in the hallway, my bedside tables, my coffee tables, all those things I made for my Frank to save him money, all those things I made out of paper. Well, I just poured gasoline over 'em, and I've struck a match. They say you die from smoke inhalation. I hope so. I don't want to be awake when I burn to death.
From everyone here at the gathering, we would like to thank Yolanda from the channel Drifting Spirits for her brilliant story. We also would like to make a mention that our channel features both true story as well as fictional, and we encourage any budding authors who may be interested in submitting their own stories to please email them to the gathering. Our channel email address can be found in the drop box below. Thank you to everyone for your continued support, and we are excited and look forward to hearing the stories to come.